I welcome you to MMA Day and Exhibition 2015. You know, MMA, as we commonly call it, most times you ask person, what is the significance of MMA? And they are unable to tell you. MMA stands for the Mahaika Maikoni Abari, the ADA Agricultural Development Authority. And as I said before, we commonly refer to the MMA ADA as MMA. The MMA is governed by a board of directors. The life of the last board ended last June, and a new board was installed. The chairman of the board is Dr. Kenneth Seeley, a Myconian, and I guess Dr. Seeley is no stranger to the farming community. Region number 5 as well as region number 6. I recall in conversation with Dr. Seeley, told me that he was the chief vet at one time at the Ministry of Agriculture, and he served this country with distinction. Amen. Could you give Dr. Seeley a hand? Yes. The MMA board comprised of 14 directors. And so far, since this new board was installed, we have had 2 meetings. The first was in August, the second in September, and we are scheduled, our third meeting is scheduled for Friday, day after tomorrow. Agriculture Month began Thursday, October 1st, under the theme, Exploiting Our Strengths and Advancing Agriculture and Social Protection. Friends, at this time of the year, we pay tribute to our farmers for their hard work, commitment, and resilience. It's a time when many of our farmers are proud of their achievements, while others reflect on what went wrong and strive to do better in the future. In the MMA area, our rice farmers have come a long way. They have moved from a situation when the average yield of paddy was 10 bags per acre in the late 70s to a current situation where the average yield is over 30 bags per acre. I am aware of the low price offered for paddy currently, I guess because we have lost the Venezuelan market, but I am confident that the rice industry will overcome this temporary setback. Residents and farmers of Region 5, the MMA scheme was constructed to make life better for all of us. The network of drains and canals which were dug and structures built have all contributed in a positive way towards the realization of our dreams. Farmers, you have experienced the benefits of the drainage and irrigation works which are in place. Agriculture production has increased, cost of production has decreased, and generally, you have enjoyed a better standard of living, all because of the hard work and hard and dedicated work that you have put in your farms. Farmers of Region 5, you should feel proud when the national data is published and you learn that Region 5 accounts for over 40% of the paddy produced. You should feel proud when you learn that the largest cattle population is in this region. Also, we must feel proud when we hear that Blaymont Sugar Estate cultivate over 14,000 acres of sugarcane. Comrades, Region 5 is moving, and it is moving in the right direction. Friends, these achievements did not just happen. It came about because of the financial injections government has made and continue to make in the agriculture sector. At one of our recent heads of department meeting, the minister stated, for too long agriculture is concentrated along the seacoast. He implored us to extend agriculture to the interior locations. We must involve more of our people. We must transfer new technologies, and we must make use of our natural resources to move the industry. Well, the MMA we cannot extend to go into the interior, but I can tell you what we did at the MMA within the past few weeks. We have prepared a preliminary project documents for the MMA Phase 2 works for possible funding.
All right.
Those works includes the development of the lands between the Abari and the Maikoni rivers. The works to be executed includes damming of the Maikoni River, extending the Abari Conservancy Dam to the watershed between the Mahaika and the Maikoni rivers, construction of a main irrigation canal to irrigate the lands on either side of it, and the construction of a network of secondary drains and canals, all to bring into productive use the lands, the agricultural lands between those two rivers, the Abari and the Maikoni rivers. Farmers of Region 5, you have the ability to move forward with agriculture. The government, through the MMA, will ensure that the necessary infrastructure is in place so that you can be successful. This afternoon, I want to challenge those small farmers who are engaged in other crops. There are markets for your pineapple, your pumpkins, your watermelons. The new Guyana Marketing Corporation, earlier in the afternoon, I noticed they have a booth here. I urge you to check with them, and they will give you sound advice as to how you could get about exploring those markets, which are just in the Caribbean. Check with them, please. Farmers, I'm happy to announce that the current board of directors have recommended 33 applications for state lands. The Honorable Minister of Agriculture has approved of those recommendations, and those persons will collect their leases from tomorrow onwards. I wish to close by acknowledging the presence of two young civil engineers who recently joined the MMA staff. They returned from Cuba a few months ago. They are here to be a part of the MMA team. They are here to serve you, the farmers and residents of Region Number 5. Also on board with us are 3 survey technicians who were trained locally. They will all play their part when the phase 2 works commences sometime soon. I recalled the founding fathers of the MMA. Our leaders, they were visionaries. They conceptualized and implemented the MMA scheme. I am of the view that they believed to depend entirely upon the vicissitudes, rainfall here now and again, was no real means of ensuring a nation's food security. They had to do something better than what they were experiencing. And when I think about it, what in a nutshell did they do? They exploited their strength. The strength was the wilderness in the enemy. They exploited that wilderness. They harnessed the natural resources. And having harnessed the natural resources that gave rise to our reservoir and all those activities, they then control the product of their endeavors. This is the water, the regulation. And by doing that, this country, even during times of extreme drought, the scheme that had been conceptualized by founding fathers like Lyndon Saps, Forson Burnham, Ptolemy Alexander Reed, H.A.D. Chesney, Ben Carter, and name the entire gamut of them. Not forgetting the workers who were down there, night and day, bulldozer, drag line, who African be bite, who African be killed. They weathered the storm. And when I'm here, I have to pay some tribute to the sterling contributions, those individuals, live, dead, one way or the other. They have done what was right so that we can have food security. It was not easy. I recall there was a time, because of ideological difference, when the IMF that was financing this project, they pulled the plug on us, restrained, held back fundings that involve political activities, United Nations. Then they gradually released the money so that we could have only completed phase 1 of the MMA. Phase 2 was left hanging, although arrangements, the initial arrangements with the IMF was for phase 1 and 2. Notwithstanding that, phase 1 had done well. And phase 1 is showing us the way how we must handle phase 2, which, for your information, begins from the Abari and ends to the Mahika Creek. There were challenges that the early administrators, their effort have helped us to cushion those challenges. Had it not been for their input and the sound foundation they have given MMA, recently, the turbulence that the MMA had gone through, conflicts, had it not been for that solid base, the MMA might have torn apart. Ladies and gentlemen, the MMA is here to stay. The new board that I am chairing, we are plagued with a multiplicity of problems. Not problems created by this board, problems that were overburdened from the previous boards. And if we do not dissect or segment our issues, our life during the first year might spend exclusively trying to remedy or rectify the destruction that had been meted on the MMA during the last couple of years. Notwithstanding that, we have a set of tough guys on the board. They are hard workers. They rally at nights until 10 o'clock to get work done. This work is pro bono. It's free. You might get a soft drink. You know, they don't cater for that. But our commitment is what matters. The MMA must move forward, ladies and gentlemen. We have to go forward. We have to broaden our economic base. We have got to look at projects differently now. We cannot handle projects based only on political adventurism. Projects will have to be analyzed. We will have to look at the cost and the benefit analysis for a lot of projects. I am not saying the human element will not come in, but then it must not be the primary consideration. We have got to go further than producing ordinary raw material, rice, beef, milk. We have to think about projects that would involve value added. These are the projects that will bring employment to our youths and to uplift the standard of living of our people. I have committed the board for us to go out there and lobby. We are lobbying locally, we are lobbying internationally for investors who can uplift, who can put added value to whatever we produce here. We in the MMA are also looking at issues. We are looking at one important thing. Right now, the sociological implications of many of the problems that beset us now but caused previously. Let us take a simple example. Guyana is the only cooperative republic in the world. Yet, we have been faced with problems where administrators were saying, we don't believe in co-ops. Went wrong, trampled the initiatives of co-ops. Living in the United States, one would know the value that co-op has contributed to the welfare of those people. If our co-ops are not perfect, we have to put in mechanisms so that they can develop. We must treat co-ops like any private or government individual entity. Family business. What is basically with co-ops? Basically, it is pooling your resources so that what one individual might not have been able to do, as a group, you will be able to do it. Work has got to be done in that area. In the meantime, I must commend some very good entrepreneurs, the Habibullah group of family. They have been working on abattoirs with facilities to take care of the international requirements for export of beef, mutton, what have you. An internationally acclaimed abattoir is the basic prerequisite for the export of meat to the Caribbean. We have 2 such abattoirs presently in the region. I hope our farmers, our exporters will take advantage. All we are really trying to do, and we are pushing in the direction, is that the more we become diversified, the better position we will be in to cushion any one
backlog. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure sharing my thoughts, my ideas with you. I am looking forward to your support and your cooperation as we launch into the bigger picture, the phase 2 of the MMA's extension products.
I think the feature address this evening was given by Dr. Seeley. I listened with rapt attention and I really enjoyed it. Furthermore, the day is far spent, the night is at hand, so I will not delay you very long. Fellow agriculturalists, welcome to the Ministry of Agriculture's Farmers Open Day, an Agriculture Month colored activity which we celebrate the work of farmers across the rice-growing regions of Guyana, more particularly Region 5. The Mahaica-Marconi-Abari Agricultural Development Authority supports nearly half of the national rice production, about 30 to 35% of all livestock, mostly cattle production, and 10 to 15% of national sugar production. It is clear that the role the authority plays is integral to enabling farmers to reap better yields, hence reducing costs of production. The work of farmers, be it cash crop or rice, continues to be a significant contributor to the country's gross domestic product. In fact, without the allocation of lands, there can be no production. Region 5, as we know, continues to be a major producer of rice and cash crops, as indeed it has one of the largest acreages on the rice cultivation. I am aware of the increased demand for land, and the Ministry will be working to ensure that not only more lands are made available, but that farmers are legitimate title holders. In fact, today it was announced they will be handing over many titles to farmers, and we hope to expand this further shortly. Guyana is estimated to have as much as 220,000 acres for rice cultivation alone, plus in excess of another 500,000 acres for the crops. This does not include the thousands of acres under sugar cultivation and the additional millions more in the hinterland regions, which can be brought under cultivation to expand production in different areas. Many projects are in the pipeline to improve the drainage and irrigation situation in the flood-prone Mahaica-Marconi-Abari areas, as we work to enhance the services provided to our farmers. Agriculture enables the backbone of Guyana's economy, remains the backbone, and as such, we need to focus our attention on addressing constraints which may arise, so as to ensure that production and productivity are not affected. In fact, figures will show that agriculture is about 40% of our national economy, and that means that it is extremely important and can help us to move our country forward. Agriculture can help in the realization of Guyana's potential. Guyana has land, fresh water, and very good farmers. For the second crop of 2005, 41,705 hectares, which is equivalent to 103,000 acres, has been sown, while Region 5 alone harvested 84,908 acres of paddy, with farmers receiving 34 bags per acre. To ensure that this vibrancy continues, a decision has been taken to make available additional lands, not only for rice production, but also cattle rearing. These efforts are geared at improving productivity and production in an effort to further expand the industry. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you a successful day. I will not keep you any longer. Thank you.